Welcome back, guys. In today's video, we're doing one of my favorite topics, which is called the 5 whence, 5 essential uses of go. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Alright guys, welcome back. So as I said, this is one of my favorite topics because it is so useful. You will use this stuff every single day. The topic is called the 5 whence, and it's 5 times that we use the verb go in very common situations. Now, a very common Czech mistake is super overusing the word visit. Czech people just love the word visit, but in real life English, we don't use it very much. So when you say, oh, I visited London and I visited my friends and I'm visiting my grandmother this weekend, it sounds a bit strange. You're using it much too much. In English, it's much more natural to use the verb go. So let's look at the first of the 5 whence. The first one is for places and events, and we say go to. For example, you would say, I went to London. London is a place. Or I went to Prague. Prague is a place. This sounds much more natural than I visited London or I visited Prague. Go to, much nicer. Like I said, this is for places and events. So if you have any event like a wedding or a funeral or a concert, also use go to. Like I went to a wedding or I went to a concert. Also, a meeting counts as an event, so we can say I went to a meeting. Now, lots of Czechs, again, you would use visit, or often you would use attend, like I attended a conference, I attended a meeting, and that sounds super formal and not normal at all. Like I would never use that, very strange. It's much more natural to use go to. I went to a meeting. And another small note about this, guys, is in Czech, you focus on the being, and you say things like, last year I was in America, and I was in Washington. You focus on the being, the verb to be. Whereas in English, we focus on the going. So it's much more natural for us to say, we went to America, and we went to Washington, rather than I was in Washington. So just remember, in English, we love go. So always use go to for places and any event. All right, the second of the 5 whence is with people and tourist attractions. And for this, we say go to see. For example, you could say, last weekend, I went to see my friends. This sounds way more natural than I visited my friends. It sounds a bit strange. Always use go to see. So this is with friends, I went to see my friends, and also with tourist attractions. So you can say, I went to see the Eiffel Tower, or I went to see Big Ben. So for people or tourist attractions, we use go to see. That's the second of the 5 whence. Now the third of the 5 whence is a special one for trips, holidays, and dates. So what do you think goes in the middle? I went, a trip. Now probably lots of you think for. I went for a trip, and that would be wrong. We say I went on a trip. So for trips, holidays, and dates, we say go on. I went on a trip, I went on holiday, I went on a date. And you will notice here we said I went on a trip, I went on a date, but I went on holiday with no a. So just remember, with holidays, we don't have the a. It's just I went on holiday. Alright guys, the last 2 of the 5 whence are both for activities. The first one is for activities with ing, like swimming. So tell me, what do you think goes in the middle? I went, swimming yesterday. So this is a bit of a trick question because there's nothing in the middle. It's just I went swimming. So for activities with ing, we just say went, and then the verb with ing. I went swimming, I went shopping, I went skiing, or I went hiking. Alright guys, the last of the 5 whence is for activities with a. For example, a walk, or a swim, or a hike. So tell me, what do you think goes in the middle? I went, a walk. So for these activities, we say for. So I went for a walk, I went for a drink, or I went for a swim. So those are the 5 whence, guys. You go to a place, You go to see some people or tourist attractions. You go on a trip, holiday, or date. You go swimming, and you go for a swim. So probably a few of you realized there's two ways to say the swimming thing. You can say go swimming or go for a swim. And you might be thinking, well, is there any difference between them? And the answer is yes, there is a difference. With the ing version, go swimming, this sounds more intense, more náročný, whereas to go for a swim, this sounds much more chill and relaxed. So if you say, I went swimming yesterday, it sounds like you were doing loads of lengths and you're swimming like 20 miles. But if you say, I went for a swim yesterday, it sounds much more chill, like you were in the lake, just swimming, chilling out, having a beer, much more chill. A great example for this is with drinking. If you say, I went drinking last night with my friends, it sounds like shots, shots, shots. Everyone got super wasted. Ryan passed out in a bush. It was intense, right? That happened recently?
Not recently.
It's been a while since your last bush. Yeah, me too. It's been a few years. Whereas if you say, I went for a drink with Ryan, sounds super chill. We just had a couple beers, had a chat. Nothing too crazy happened. And that's definitely what he should tell his wife. Never tell his wife I went drinking with Jacob last night. Alright guys, so that is the 5 whents part 1. In the next video, we're going to learn how to combine the 5 whents, how to put them together to make even more interesting sentences. Really hope you liked that video, guys. As always, check out the Speak Like Me English podcast to get some cool listening practice for you advanced learners out there. And you can also check out the Speak Like Me app, which has all the words that I think you probably don't know, but definitely should know. The links for everything are in the description for this video. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next video.